Salutations, everyone, and welcome to the AOE podcast number 15. Fingers crossed I recorded 14. I'm here with my good friend Tamara, and we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts 3. That is just around the corner. So many things to talk about, and so much things to be explained. Because even the most brilliant of Kingdom Hearts fans isn't 100% sure on all the particulars. Isn't that right?
Oh my gosh, there is so much to unpack. I feel like you could get a grip on everything in the actual series, and then you still have to try and swallow whatever the hell K-Hux is. And
Right.
that throws everything out the window.
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult timeline to explain, and the games that are in it, and when they occur, and why they're important. But I think it's safe to say that all of them are important for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It is also incredibly kind of interesting to watch updated complete timeline videos that
Yeah.
have to be remade or updated. I saw one the week before the Elrena update for K-Hux that was the entire Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, or Union Cross, sorry, as it's been rebranded, like that entire storyline. And then like 3 days later it was like time for another big update that changes everything, and you're like, cool. That poor person spent so long on that.
Yeah, I don't think you can do yourself proper justice by just watching a 20-minute YouTube video on everything you need to know about Kingdom Hearts. It's like,
No.
you could get some, big points in there that you could follow, but you just be missing so much because there's just so many games that have different kinds of importance when it comes to introducing characters or explaining the past or all the retconning that has been done. So when you think you know something, the next game comes out and it's like, well, actually, Kingdom Hearts is really a restaurant and yeah, a timeshare. So I
Square
think,
Enix tried to put out, like their own like recap. Here's everything important that happened.
how long was
And
that?
even they're like 5 minutes each, like they're super short. And you're like, do you know how much you're skipping? And it's literally been, it was at the same time that Everglow started out his timeline of like, here's everything, and his episodes are like 44 minutes long, like they're super long. And then you get Square Enix being like, here's everything, guys, in like little 5 minute formats that skips over everything important. It doesn't skip everything, but you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
they tried to condense it themselves, and even their own condensing is like the surface.
Right, it's a problem. We're neither of us are going to say that Kingdom Hearts and their storyline is perfect by any
Oh, it's
means,
a mess.
or that every
It's a
game
mess.
is great and concise and easily digestible. We won't fault you for thinking that, but
Woo!
at the same time, every game has something very important that you need to take away from it when it comes to characters, story, information, timelines. Every game has that. But
Encoded.
yeah, it's freaking coded. Um, we've both seen a lot of like tweets and stuff about, oh, I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 because I loved Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1, and then people are like, whoa, you need to play all the others, and they're like, oh, not really, and it's like, yeah, really? Like, I understand that's it's not a franchise like any other in that respect, especially for how long it's gone and on how many different platforms. It's easy to have missed a lot. But if you just go one, two, three, you'll have no idea who the actual bad guy is, who half the characters are, where they are, why that place exists, why they're important, and who's no longer here and what needs to be done. Like, none of that will be conveyed if you just go one, two, three.
Yeah, and I don't think that even people who are fans, I think everybody who has ever like known where all the important stuff is outside of like one and two will look at those side games where there's important things. Like the main villain of the whole damn Xehanort saga is in one of the side games. Like, So like I don't think anyone who's actually a fan and knows what's going on in this series is going to try to argue that, it was done well in terms of putting important information in places where people could get it, at least to begin with
Hmm.
how everything was spread out across different games on the different platforms. Like, I feel like all of us can be like, yeah, it was a little bit of a mistake to put some of that most important information in a game, not with the number and on more of a handheld platform. Like, I don't think anyone's going to try and defend that as being like, no, it's perfectly fine. Everybody can access all the platforms all the time, all the games, But
Yeah,
like, oof,
it's easy to
oof,
forget, like, oh, that's right, this game came out, or oh, this one got remastered and has these changes, or something like that.
yeah.
And it's I would equate it to like just saying, all right, I'm gonna see Avengers 1, and then I'm gonna see Avengers 2, and then I'm just gonna go to Avengers 3. If those are the only movies that you're watching, you're gonna be so lost. Let's say you watched everything up to Avengers 2 and then just skipped to 3. You wouldn't know why Thor's in space, what happened to the Hulk, who the fuck the Vision and Scarlet Witch are, how that relationship's been going, or where what happened to this Ultron thing, or where the Vision even came from. What are Infinity Stones? You would be so damn lost.
I totally understand the people who want to just jump into free. Like, like it's not like it's an ununderstandable standpoint of just like this game's coming out, I'm super high, I'm just gonna jump straight in. Like that's absolutely fine. People will do that anyway.
Yeah,
I just hope that those people are at least aware that yeah, there's a recap thing that Square Enix have put it, and I believe it's also going to be on the main screen for both versions of the game, so you can access it. But that they don't just take that as the only place of information, and that's the only bonus information that they should have. And that if they are jumping straight in and they know that there's other games that they haven't played, that they then don't turn around after they finished or after they've gotten a little bit in and go, why the hell wasn't I told this information? Or,
right.
where did this information come from? It's like if you're going to jump straight into Kingdom Hearts 3, go for it. But if you do that knowing that there's extra information and you don't seek out that extra information, complaining that you're confused afterwards is
Right.
like, mm,
It's that
a
final
little
step that's
bit on you.
important. It's that final step. It's like, okay, you can do whatever you want. You can go 1, 2, 3. You could just 3 could be your first game ever. You just
I
don't
hope
get
it is
to.
for a lot of people.
You don't have the right to complain then that you're confused or this doesn't make sense. You're free to do whatever you want, but don't just write off. Oh, they're spin-offs. They don't matter. They actually matter a hell of a lot more than even the first 2 games by themselves.
Hello, people who play Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and then had no clue what the hell was going on with the start Kingdom Hearts 2, like me as a kid, because Chain of Memories wasn't accessible for me. I had no clue what was going on. But later on, I went and looked back at what was going on and I understood it better. Like I
Right.
wish I had it to begin with.
And
I
we've
went
heard,
back and found out what was happening.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you could look for videos. You can watch cutscenes. That will take a lot more time than watching a easily explained video. But I mean,
A wiki.
yeah, read the wiki, watch all the cutscenes, and one of the things that a lot of people love to joke about and do hyperbole is like, oh, I didn't have time to buy the Jaguar 64 and an N-Gage to play all these games. It's like, first of all, wasn't that many platforms, but it's been over a long time, so it's more than most. But also, if you have a PlayStation 3, you could play all the games on just 2 discs that are $20 each. And if you have PS4, you can play all the games on 1 disc. And then you play 2.8, which takes you like a couple of hours. And then watch the K-Hux explanation cutscene videos on YouTube, and you're good to go. There's no excuse for
Point,
not knowing or having played everything at this
at this
point.
point, it's even easier for PS4 because like they just announced that all-in-one, not just announced, but you know what I mean. Like this year, they came out with the all-in-one package. So if you
Mm-hmm.
buy that on PSN, you're getting every single game because it's literally 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and free. But at this point, if you're gonna get the story so far, which is 1.5 plus 2.5 in 1 disc and 2.8 in 1 disc, it's still 2 discs, sure. It's one package,
Yeah, and they're
or if you
not
want to
both
get them
$60
individually.
either.
yeah, if you want to get them individually now, they're still like what, like $20 each. It's
Yeah,
not. I get it if you're an Xbox player and you
right.
will have to jump into Kingdom Hearts 3 with nothing in front of them. I believe Nomura said he's been too busy with the actual development to like get the ball rolling on the whole let's bring the rest of them to the Xbox One. But I think now if he's had a little bit more time in between finishing Kingdom Hearts 3's development, yay, 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 or being immediately pushed onto FF7 remake because that man never gets a holiday. Like he'll be able to have a little bit more time, hopefully, to put them on Xbox. That then those people will get to play them, and I hope that they get to play them.
Yeah, one can only
You
hope.
want more people to be able to play the older games and enjoy the series from start to finish, rather than just having free.
And I'm sure there are some people who played all the ones that were on PlayStation and maybe all the Game Boy games, but they don't have a PS4 yet, so they haven't played Final Passage. And I assume most people don't even know about Union Cross.
Oh yeah.
And
there's a lot of players of Union Cross, but like there's still keeps the people who just look at it and be like, yeah, there's probably nothing important plot wise in that game, and like, oh boy, are you wrong? Oh boy.
yeah, like it's the only one that's free and it's the only one that's on mobile, but it also has way too much lore in it to ignore it.
There's so much lore in that
Like
game.
it lays down the foundation. It's the very beginning. It's the prequel that sets everything up in motion, or at least tries to explain why a lot of things are happening.
There are
And
3 main story characters in the regular timeline, and then we just had another cutscene for it with Maleficent in it, trying to explain how she gets to where she's at in like either Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts somewhere, but who knows where that particular one is placed? I don't even know. But like we've got actual main people from the main series popping up in the mobile game, and that has a lot of implications when you remember that this is literally a prequel and why are these people there? What's happening? Time travel again? It's wild.
it is very wild. And yeah, we understand the jokes that it's super convoluted and super complicated, and it is.
It
That's
is.
that's why they're funny. It's funny memes about Donald not healing you. We all get that. It's funny, or light and dark memes, or time travel,
Okay, I believe you.
or people's souls within souls within souls, and like reincarnations, and different iterations, and nobodies and heartlesses and somebodies. We get it. It's off the wall and very confusing. But we're all kind of in it together, and there are resources at least out there available for free online without having to pay for any sort of disc or digital bundle. That can explain a lot of things, but at the end, it's all about the games. And I wouldn't fault you for thinking, oh, the mobile game probably isn't that important, because typically they aren't. I don't know any other huge franchise that has so much invested into a mobile game story wise. Um, and,
Me neither.
people joke about, oh, there's 1 and there's 2 and there's 1.5 and 2.5 and 2.8 final chapter prologue, la la la. That's silly. It is. But it is what it is as well. It's what we got. And
Like 12
as
years of it's what we got.
exactly. I remember playing the very first Kingdom Hearts at a friend's house that she got it for Christmas, and she was super psyched. I didn't have a PlayStation 2, but I was really intrigued about this Kingdom Hearts game because the first commercial for the first game is fucking amazing. It lures
Oh,
you
wow.
in with the music, and it was just stuck in
I
my ear,
remember
and I
that
was
too.
like, it looks beautiful, but it also has Mickey Mouse and shit in it. It's so weird, but I'm so intrigued and drawn to it. But I didn't have a
Why is
PS2.
the boy's hair so spiky? I don't understand. I love him.
Yeah, it's Animu, it's Final Fantasy, it's Disney, and it's like dark and light and JRPG, and it's all kinds of crazy. Um, I remember just
Also, the
doing the
the case
tutorial.
design.
What's that? You're breaking up.
The case design was beautiful as well. That was another
Oh
thing
yeah, yeah.
that drew me in. That was what drew me in.
And and we also, I mean, it felt like waiting forever between one and two as well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember knowing somebody that was just super duper psyched when I was in high school when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a big deal. It feels like the first one was forever ago." Um but of course I didn't play any of the Kingdom Hearts games even when I did get a PS2, which was later in the life cycle. As soon as I got a PS3 and the remixes came out, I was like, all right, I got to do this. I got to see what this is about. And I streamed every single Kingdom Hearts game that there was to play, and
You beat Riku on your first try.
I beat Riku on my first try. Y'all know it happens. There's a video. Watch it. Ursula was a bitch. Um, there were skateboards and there were card games and there was like
Cartwheeling.
sleeping and shit. It was amazing, and I became a super fan. And even though it wasn't part of my childhood, it still kind of feels like it is.
Don't forget Ice Cream Beats. What classic part of your childhood was better than Ice Cream Beats, honestly?
Ice Cream Beats.
And Fruit Bowl. Don't forget Fruit Bowl with Horace.
Listen, if in the 100 Acre Wood, if we don't get something comparable to that, or we don't have any sort of Finny-like fun, then it's just going to be a disaster. We'll only have the gummy ship to look forward to.
I mean, we've got Vegetable Patch, like Candy Crush or whatever it is that we're doing Rabbit's Garden.
It was. I think it was like a bubble blaster thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that complicated. It's kind of like the go-to for an intellectual property making a mobile game. They just make it a bubble blaster game. I've seen it for like Peanuts. I've seen it for Simon's Cat. I've seen it for a bunch of Frozen. I think there's a Frozen one.
That ties in. That works.
Yeah. You think we're getting a Frozen world that no one knows about yet?
I think it's super secret because, Nomura hasn't stated that he loved that world and wanted to put it in. Not at all.
It would be interesting, only, 2 months out, that there are still worlds that hasn't been leaked or talked about at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about the new worlds that have been included?
I'm very happy with that selection. They did state, the cutoff point in terms of what movies they would be adding. They said nothing after 2014. So it was like, okay, here's what they haven't used yet. So I would have loved to have seen Hunchback of Notre Dame in its full glory, not in DDD with a more limited range. But I'm kind of hoping still, out of what we haven't seen yet, that we do get things like Princess and the Frog or a nod to Treasure Planet. Please, somebody acknowledge Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Please, somebody. Yeah, I love the world.
Yeah, they'll be acknowledged when the Black Cauldron is acknowledged.
Oh, somebody acknowledge Black Cauldron.
The movie that almost destroyed the entire company.
Acknowledge it, you cowards!
Oddly enough, the Black Cauldron was the very first Disney film that had the classic Walt Disney signature logo used.
Yep.
Which is quite interesting. That's the iconic, Disney facsimile. Yeah, and it first appears in the one that almost ruined the company.
I like the world selection that we've got given so far. I'm very curious to see what they did with Olympus, considering that it's Hercules, but it's not Hercules you've seen before, guys. We're going to the other place now, and you're like, okay.
So, I'm sorry, all I heard was get on the Hydra's back. Is that?
Rule number 3: get on the Hydra's back. There's those few worlds that you're like, okay, right.
Again.
Let's just go again. but I'm still stoked with especially the detail, and even all the articles coming out with how closely they worked with Disney and Pixar animators to make sure that the worlds that they use are as perfect as they could get them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Tangled, and the detail, and just having Goofy in a scene with Rapunzel rolling down a hill. It's just having Frozen and Donald is just hanging out with Anna and Olaf. It's I can't wait, honestly.
It's gonna be great. I mean, it's interesting that they brought Goofy back even though he died. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
guess Donald really perfected his healing powers and resurrected the boyo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What a miracle. I think it makes Mickey's redemption arc a little bit weaker, but it's okay. We'll live without it.
Yeah, that's fine. So let's see, we got Big Hero 6, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Tangled. Am I missing any of the new worlds?
Frozen.
Frozen, obviously. Uh,
100 Acre Wood, of course. You want to count that one?
oh, that's not new. I wonder if it'll be optional again. Uh,
I
Definitely want to
feel like
help
it
him
will.
find his friends because that dude is useless without his friends. I saw a movie recently where Winnie the Pooh didn't have any of his friends. It was tragic,
No.
but I'm sure everything will be just fine. I really love the forms, the drive forms and stuff, and the flow motions. Just like an amalgamation of all the best things from 2 and Birth by and 2.8. It's just fantastic. As someone who's played Kingdom Hearts 3, I know I'm in an exclusive club and I'm pretty cool. The
Don't talk to
combat
me
felt
anymore.
so fluid. It didn't feel like, some of the overpowered stuff that we saw with some of the flow motion things. You get the drive forms very quickly, but they don't last very long, but you can get some good value out of them. And cinematically, they're just jaw dropping on another level. Like when you're in the freaking roller coaster one, taking on the Titan in the Hercules level, it's just like I'm playing a movie, and there's fucking Anime Kid and Goofy and shit, and then that thing from that '90s cartoon. It's insane.
Did they take a long time to load? Like, is there a load buffer? I haven't played it, for the full disclosure of people listening to this. I've not been so lucky as to play it early. Does it take a little while to load in? Or is it
I
like super, super snappy?
I don't remember. Obviously, I've just played a demo, so it's not going to be comparable to the full
I
release.
think even the demo that you played was the updated one, though, wasn't it? Because they had the all the influencers play it, and then they were like, okay, let's make some changes to the demo, and then I think then you went and played it.
It might have been. It was in July for Comic-Con.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been after. Yeah, they made changes to it before you got. So you got the even better version of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to play all of it because they kick you out after a certain amount of time. So I didn't get all of the Toy Story cutscenes, but it was really funny
Oh,
with Rex thinking you're from Final Fantasy and shit. So funny.
yeah. Well, speaking of, I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, but I believe there is a line. I've been told that there is a line that references Kingdom Hearts 3.
I don't remember there being one when I
Apparently, the line was something like, "We'll meet each other again on January 25th" or something like that, and I just remember seeing a whole bunch of people coming back after, obviously going and seeing it, being like, "Kingdom Hearts 3 reference, Kingdom Hearts 3 reference." It's like, oh, 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 what's happening?
No, if there was, I didn't catch it. And I certainly haven't heard about it online. That's interesting. I could definitely see them wanting to do something in the Wreck It Ralph world, but that would be even more complicated because then you have all the game licensing that they need to do. It's not like Disney owns everything that's in Wreck It Ralph.
Yeah, we can't even do whatever it is that's missing from porting Final Fantasy VIII. So,
Yes,
it's fine.
very true. Very true. I mean, that wouldn't that be fucking
There is Final
crazy?
Fantasy VIII.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we had Final Fantasy characters, Kingdom Hearts characters, Disney characters, and then all of a sudden you have fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and Pac-Man? It's like most ambitious crossover ever, please.
That would be amazing. It would probably cause a lot of issues because remember, Toy Story has Kingdom Hearts 3 canonically in the timeline now. So that would
Yes.
cause some interesting, even more existential crises than it already causes. But you know, it's
Right.
fine.
And
It's
yeah, and it
fine.
yeah, already causes a bunch of crises in just the other games, let alone 3.
Ah! Final Fantasy is canon, apparently. But also Kingdom Hearts is canon. Send help, okay? All right. Send help.
Oh my gosh, imagine fighting alongside Barbie and Lara Croft and and Goofy and freaking Cloud Strife. You're
And
like,
Scooby,
what
of
is
course.
this Cards Against Humanity freaking video game that we got ourselves into?
That's why I like that Final Fantasy mobile game I was talking to you about because it's literally that. It's literally like, what if all these characters from all the different versions of the game were together, and you're like, what is happening? It's great.
Yeah, or like Fire Emblem Heroes, or all the Fire Emblem characters are together.
Yeah.
What do you think about the collector's edition of the physical copy?
Which okay, would you like me to comment on the version that America can access or the version that most of the rest of us can access? Because like it's
Well,
two different
America always
things.
gets shafted with the exclusive versions. I had to get an Assassin's Creed 2 Black Edition from Japan in order to get my Ezio Auditore da Firenze figure. So we're kind of used to it. The UK gets a bunch of exclusive editions, and obviously, if it's a Japanese game, Japan gets all the good stuff.
Here over in New Zealand, we got Bupkis. In fact, they've changed the deluxe version for us over here as well, and like the collector's editions again. So it's like, you know, Japan always gets the best shit. That is the number one prerogative, is that Japan always gets the best shit. So if you really want the good stuff, get it from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that they included gosh, they included the play arts. Is it
Right.
play arts? Is that the one that it is? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's
and
a
it is
play
it's
arts.
like a variant on it as well. Yeah. So you got the little toy figurines
Mm-hmm.
of Sora, Donald, and Goofy in their toy
Yeah,
forms, their
Toy
toy
Story
outfit.
forms, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I think for what it is, I don't think it's necessarily a bad edition at all.
Right.
Um, but I think in terms of, you know, whether it's worth it or compared to any other version that we've obviously seen available for Japan, um, I think your mileage is absolutely going to vary on that one. For over here, it's like way, way, way much more money than a regular cut is.
Yeah.
Um, and you don't really get anything else other than that. I think it's mainly just, hey man, do you want the standard edition or do you want this pin and then maybe also pay like over $150 extra for that? And you're like,
Yeah, wasn't
yeah, it's
2.5 and 2.8 like their special edition was just a fucking pin?
hell yeah. It is 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and
Well,
then there
1.5
is
had
nothing.
a Heartless plushie at
Nope.
least. It
No, not for here. Not for here.
it
It
did
was just the
in
same.
some version. I think it was available in America.
I think it was the American version.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't get
absolutely
it,
gonna
but
vary on like, you know, what they give you and
yeah.
if you think that that personally to you is worth it or if you
Right.
just want the game.
I think I'll stick with the standard edition and get some Play Arts Kai stuff on their site. You know,
Yeah,
because I
you
have
can
a
get it
couple
on sale
Sora
too.
figures, and I'm waiting for the Kyrie one to come out.
if you don't get it at launch, then you have the option of not only waiting for a cheaper price, but also waiting to see what other ones they bring out that you might want more than
Right.
the ones that they give you. So that's what I mean by like that mileage will vary, where it's like, if you love those designs and you think that that's a good price to get the game and them, go for it. Like wear yourself out, knock yourself out of it. But if you want to hang out because you know that there's a different Kai coming that you want, or you know that they're going to do them separately and you want to wait for the price to come down, so therefore you're only paying X amount for the game, and then maybe a few months down the line, a little bit less for the Kai.
Right.
Like that mileage is absolutely going to vary, but I think that they pick something good to offer, at least.
Yeah, it wasn't a total disappointment. May not
No.
have been what we wanted, but it's acceptable for a special
Yeah, you know
edition.
what people really want, Square Enix? People want the PS4 Pro pre-order link,
Yeah.
please. Why are you like this?
People need those
They
exclusive
have the
consoles.
perfect.
Especially
Oh,
if
they
they've
had the
waited
perfect
just for
opportunity.
Kingdom Hearts 3 and they didn't even get one for
Oh,
2.8.
did you see the new one that they showed? This new Slim that they showed off for
Yes, I
Japan with
did.
the theme. It's beautiful.
Of course it is.
ah, I want the theme. I like the Slim, but I just want the just let me pay for the theme. I will pay more for the theme. This is the point that we're at in terms of like how much stuff is Japan exclusive that I'm like, literally let me pay more. I don't care. I just want it. Okay. Just let me have the option.
Yeah, we've been so starved for Kingdom Hearts merch. I just hope that when 3 comes out that there's just an explosion of it. Cuz like you could get a couple of really shitty looking action figures from Kingdom Hearts 2 that you might see in a bargain bin at a GameStop. And yeah, if you go to Hot Topic, you'll see a backpack or a hat or a mug, but there's with as many games as there's been for as long as there's been, they've really missed out outside of Japan at least on siphoning all the dollars that they could be getting from us for like free because we needs it.
I know, right? Like, that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that I know that it's super popular in Japan because otherwise we wouldn't have gotten it. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate trying to like give Japan things because they appreciate the fact that they've, made the series what it is. But also, there are people who are willing to pay for those things over here. Like, you are giving up free money by not offering it anywhere else. Like, I don't understand. I
Yeah,
know I'm not a
that's
business
the
expert,
Disney
or,
slash Nintendo model. It's like
yeah,
everyone
like
wants this thing that you're either not making or not making enough of. Don't you want more money? And they're like, we don't need money.
it's the same thing with doing the classic consoles, but only making a limited amount.
Right.
Like the people want this, but we only feel like manufacturing a certain amount, which means that when they come out, people are going to buy them up and then they're going to resell them for exorbitant prices or hold on to them forever
Right.
because they're not going to make them again. It's like people want those. They want to be able to just freely get them. It will bring in new people as well to be able to get them, but they just like, I mean, we could, but we could also only make like 500.
Yeah. Once again, the
You know,
Nintendo model. Let's make like 4 Rosalina and Luma amiibos and call it a day. It's like, no, people want that shit. What are you talking about? What?
you put all that effort into making it and then you don't continue to
Wait
make it. It's
outside
like,
Best Buy before it opens, and I'm second in line, and I don't get the Lucina amiibo because the guy in front of me bought the only 2 that they had in stock. Like, why did you only get 2? God.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's one
Anyway,
of those things I'm not meant to understand, but I don't
yes.
understand.
What is your hard read on the story, or what do you think's gonna happen?
I almost made a pterodactyl noise of general screeching because that's my general feel. That's my hard read. I think that they're gonna assemble as many heroes and as many fallen heroes as we can. The bad guys, the organization, they're gonna go around grabbing all the fallen bad guys that we've already defeated and probably some new ones they turn over to their side. And eventually they're gonna have to have the clash. Like everybody knows that it's gonna have to eventually happen.
Oh my
That
gosh, that
final
new like
war has to
1,000
happen.
Heartless battle looks so fucking
Oh, that
dope.
is that is so hype. That is so hype.
I mean, even
Like
if
that
even if you just
iteration.
play the 1,000 Heartless battle in Kingdom Hearts 2 today, it's still super hype.
It's
But
and it, that's the besides the fact that we've also had Yoko Shinomura doing all her other sound work on her other games, like Final Fantasy 15, which has some amazingly hype battle music. Okay, like it has one of the best hypest boss theme music, and it's one of those tracks that you could see putting into Kingdom Hearts 3 because it's like the same scenario of like, okay, we've built up to this big battle. Here it is. Here's the hype as shit music. You know, so she's had that time to work on some style. She did some great music for 0.2, done Final Fantasy 15, and then she gets to come back to Kingdom Hearts 3 and go, right, how do I take the amazing music that the series already had, but also apply everything I've learned from everything else I've been doing? Like that music is also going to be just as amazing
oh yeah,
for
this
that
will be
same
have the
scenario.
best soundtrack of any Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh.
Just you know what? Just don't think twice about it. That's just what it's going to be.
Do you think you're going to like Face My Fears?
Ooh, that's a
Or
good question.
do you think that you're gonna like it immediately, or do you think you're gonna need like a little because obviously it's Itaru Hikaru, but as well as Skrillex and Boo
Skrillex.
Bear. So
Yeah.
we've got the new additions onto it. So do you think that you're gonna immediately love it through sheer excitement and Itaru Hikaru and whatever they do? Or do you think you're gonna need maybe a little bit more time to warm up to it,
Here's my hard read. I love Utada Hikaru, obviously. Everything she's done, especially for Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, how do you beat my expectations at this juncture and just surpass them? I like Skrillex. I do.
Yep.
And I trust I trust the team that they made it work. I think I'm gonna love it.
I love that he's a big Kingdom Hearts nerd. I don't think you can mess it up being such a big, both Itaru Hikaru and also Kingdom Hearts
Oh
nerd.
my gosh, the
Like,
implications. The implications because he's in Wreck-It Ralph 1. Skrillex is a real
yeah,
person in Wreck-It Ralph 1. Oh my
he's
gosh.
he's Disney canon
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
already Disney canon.
What is your heart in the story? Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you from that.
um oh, I'm hoping Kyrie is playable.
Mm-hmm.
I need a section with her either alone or as a party member and have this
Mm-hmm.
like adorable, amazing combo that she does with her super awesome canonical boyfriend Sora. And that they get to the Tangled world where we know the lantern thing's gonna happen, and they get to have their own boat would be great. And if they kiss, then that's the game for me. Um, I'm
What,
interested.
without even saving Aqua? Like just Kyrie would make the game for you? I am shocked at you.
Well, I don't trust Mickey to do what he needs to do because he's a terrible friend.
Do you think that that section is even going to be playable as either Mickey or Riku? Like, do you think that they'll just show us the cutscene of like, well, they fucked up, and then be like, here's Sora to come save her? Or do you think that they're actually going to make that bit playable?
I I I I, I kind of expect there to be a boss fight.
I hope so.
I don't know if it would be anything more than that. I definitely see that as an absolute possibility. Um, I don't know how much the shepherds are going to factor into this, or uh, or any of the dandelions. How, like we kind of still have no idea how much into the story they're going to be a part of.
Well, you know that at least three of them,
Yeah.
considering that you've got Ventus, who we know has to wake up, and Lorium, aka Marluxia, and Elrina, aka Laxine. So there's three of them, but if they remember all their dandelion stuff, it's kind of up in the air. I doubt Ven does. I feel like the whole Ven thing is probably why whenever anybody was like, hey man, what's your past like? Ven was just like, ah! Like passed out from pain. Like,
It is very interesting because we know so many things have to happen. Aqua has to be saved. Ventus has to wake up. We have to get everyone back together. We need to stop everyone in the fucking world from getting Norded.
We know that Xehanort, or at least Terranort and Lingering Will have a fight from that 2-frame second in the cuts in one of the trailers. We know that confrontation, that rematch is going to be hype of like, right, I'm going to win this time, bitch.
It tears my brain and my heart apart not knowing or even knowing that Xion has any role to play in this.
I still think that little figure on the end is her.
I can't go through it again, Carrie. I can't.
But also, poor baby Rox is turning up too in his organization cloak, looking unhappy as hell.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna go on with all the organization folks.
What did you think of Xehanort's voice in that trailer?
When we heard it. I thought it was fine. I mean, I've met the previous or the second Xehanort voice actor. He was cool. Got his autograph on my Kingdom Hearts poster, which is up to 19 signatures right now.
Ooh.
Super dope.
Ooh, good number.
Yeah, and
I feel like they had to know it was going to be hard to try to replace both the English and Japanese voice actors.
Yes,
that was so unfortunate. So unfortunate. Ugh.
And the thing is that there's just so many characters that they could pop in so many different ways, or not at all, through a backflash or like some sort of, I don't know, spirit message or a connection through a keyblade or something like that. Like,
in the datascape, apparently, you've got the sleep, like, you know, the realm of sleep, but then you've also got the datascape, and you've got just straight up time travel and apparently traveling forwards.
And you got nobodies.
Yep. Heartless, nobodies, somebodies. Lingering Wills, Phantom Aquas, Nightmare Vendor.
Oh god. You just create a whole shadow team. It's like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, they could pull like a Secret Wars thing, like a scroll from Marvel, and be like, oh my gosh, this wasn't Mickey the whole time, it's actually Mickey's nobody. That would explain so much.
Well, Goofy did die, and it was just his nobody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've been playing with Phantom Goofy this whole time.
I feel like saying that sentence made me age 3 years.
Imagine the cutscene where you have to get Goofy back. Wake me up! Wake me up inside! I can't wake up! Wake me up and save me, Sora!
Oh no.
That's what we need. We need Evanescence crossover into the Kingdom Hearts universe. Which can work because it was from Daredevil, which is Marvel, which is now owned by Disney. Boom.
It was bad enough with all the Norting memes of just being like, right, who can we Nort? What about Norted Olaf? Which we know at the moment is true, but
don't Nort Olaf! He's too pure.
They Norted Piglet.
oh my god. Watch a Norted Eeyore be exactly the same.
Oh no!
Well, I guess the darkness got me. I always knew this was gonna happen.
Can we Nort Sephiroth? Like, can we just Nort a Final Fantasy character? Are they immune to the Nort? They're probably not even in the game, but like, can we just Nort Sephiroth? I want to see what difference that makes to him.
Or Nort Scrooge McDuck and have his sea salt ice cream become violent.
Oh no!
That would ruin everything.
Not Chip and Dale. They just purposely try to crash the gummy ship.
I think the gummy ship will crash on its own.
Not if it's on rails.
Oh god. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but I wish the gummy ship was not coming back.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. Like, just it's there, so we'll deal with it. But like,
It is definitely there.
I feel like we were kind of spoiled by Birth by Sleep, not really having the commission mission and just being like, hey man, you want to go to a world? Cool, you were there. Unless, apart from the few where they had like the boss battles
Yeah.
mid space.
It's like, oh, the worlds are
That wasn't like
connected.
every
Just
single time.
fucking use your Keyblade. You're
Just
good to
go.
go.
Just go. I feel like that kind of spoiled us and being like, oh, I actually have to fight my way there again. God damn it.
There's so many questions. Like, you can just take a look at one thing and be like, there's so many possibilities that Keyblades could be going in this freaking game. There's so many different ways that Kyrie's role or Riku's role or
Please roll.
how Aqua's saved and what Ventus is capable of, and it's too much. It's too much.
It's been so long.
Are we gonna
And
get
it's
enough Tigger points to get through the 100 Acre Woods?
I
Can we connect?
oh.
Can we collect enough honey pots?
You know what? If we never ever have to suffer through the Tiger Kingdom Hearts 100 Wood thing again, then I'll be happy. That's the low point. That's the low point. The stupid log hopping with the Kingdom Hearts 1 jump. Like,
Oh, Kingdom Hearts 1 jump! Tarzan!
Tarzan. You just use the shortcut.
That was such a
every
long
single
stream.
time.
That was such a long stream. Just fucking getting through those trees, man. And then falling and you're back in the water and you...
You just had to skip all the way over to you just had to do, I think the strat in speedrunning terms, I think it's called hippo jumping. And like, I just did it because it was faster instead of trying to swing through vines one. It was just like, I'm gonna just go to the end of the level and just skip. And then you watch a speedrun, you're like, that has a name. That is speedrunning strat.
I'm Tron. I can see the code.
Oh no. Tron being canon along with Final Fantasy characters, but also Sephiroth, but also Winnie the Pooh. I have many questions about this world. Oh no.
Can you imagine Jeff Bridges like fighting Lotso Huggin Bear or some shit?
Oh no. Even I think Pirates of the Caribbean all by itself is just kind of weird enough where you're like, cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, they changed the graphic style that they're going for that, which I think is pretty cool.
I love how it looks in Kingdom Hearts 3. I know that obviously it wasn't possible for Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not like being like, oh my god, it's so shit in comparison. Like, like it wasn't possible and they did the best that they could with trying to not really meld the styles, but still trying to make it work.
Or doing
anyway.
a good Jack Sparrow impression.
The original KH2 Pirates of the Caribbean MIDI file. We don't speak of that no more. It looks so good in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm so proud of them with how they handled that with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. I'm guessing they'll probably go with Davy Jones in that world, would be my guess.
For Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean 3. It's at World's End.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he's there. They showed him up. I think it's his original voice actor as well.
Bill Nighy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's cool. I appreciate all the original voice actors, or at least actors, that they got to come back.
Yes.
For Kingdom Hearts 3 as well. I very much appreciate that they went to the efforts to try to get. They even got Tate Donovan back. Like they went there. They tried super hard.
Always definitely appreciated. I mean, I feel like the Kingdom Hearts series is kind of unique in that they've gotten so many of the original Disney voices to come back and do it.
Yeah.
And they did that with Wreck-It Ralph as well.
Or if not the original, then at least the official ones.
Right, the one who's
And
been doing the voice for the while, like Cinderella.
Jen Hale,
Yeah,
or
Jennifer
even
Hale,
Tom
brother.
Hanks's brother. You know, like
Yeah,
it's so in the cases of obviously characters for people that would have already passed away, or if it's somebody else who normally does it, then they've gotten whoever usually does the
right.
voices.
I would be real hard pressed to believe that Tom Hanks's brother wouldn't do the voice for a game like this. It's like, what else are you doing, dude? Come on.
He's
Unless
done
you
like all
unless
the
you can
video games.
convince Tom to do it, then
No, his brother's done like all the video games.
yeah, all the video games, and I think he also does like the voices on like the toys, the like
Mm-hmm.
the pull
Yep,
string and shit. So
yep.
he's always done it, which is cool.
Good on him. Good on him.
Until like Colin gets old enough so he can do it. Oh boy. Anything else? Anything else we want to talk about?
And do you think there's going to be more DLC other than the
Ooh, good
Keyblade?
question. I didn't even think
Because I know
about
obviously
that.
they were like, we're thinking about DLC, blah blah blah, and then they were like, it's Keyblades at the moment, but like, do you think that they're actually going to go for proper full on DLC, or do you think they'll just be like, here's more outfits and Keyblades, guys?
Um,
Outfits would be fine. Outfits would be cool.
yeah, outfits would be cool. They want this to be the end of the Xehanort saga, obviously. So I don't feel like they'll leave any loose ends as far as there being like a final boss to defeat.
Yeah, yeah.
But like as far as DLC, I don't know what they would just like add an additional world or two or different modes. But I don't see them asking for money for like different modes or something like that, like a boss rush or time trial or things like that. I can see them adding little features like that, but I don't think
Yeah.
content wise they would add anything important, if anything, really at all. Obviously, I'll get it if it happens, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Nomura going that direction. But who
Would you be
knows?
happy? Would you be happy if they were like, okay, so we realized that not putting in Final Fantasy characters, you guys were like, why not? So we're gonna add like a DLC campaign that's like, here's Final Fantasy characters we're up to on Hollow Bastion. Sorry, Radiant Garden. Sorry, I forget we've been restored. Yeah,
Yes,
Radiant
you're
Garden.
restored indeed.
you
I'll
like
I'll pay for how in the Mario uh, Odyssey how there's like a Luigi mode and a Wario mode like
yes.
DLC. I'll pay for the Kyrie DLC. I could just play the whole game as Kyrie or Riku. They'd have some slightly different attacks and stuff. I'd be all for that.
Do you think that they would add a new game plus mode? I believe it would be the first Kingdom Hearts game to have a new game plus mode.
Yes.
Because obviously you can do like EXP 0 and like level 1. You can already do those if you want to count them as like new game minus in that
Hmm.
sense. But like, do you think that they would have an actual like, okay, guys, you've done the game, now you can do it and keep all your shit from the
I
last
think they
time?
will because
Yeah,
you couldn't you do
I
that
hope
in
so.
2.8?
Can you?
I think so. But yeah, I see them. I see them doing that. I don't see why
I think
not.
it would be good.
It
I
could
kind
be
of
unpaid DLC. 1 or 3 months
yeah.
later. That'd be
I think
fine.
there's been other games that have done that have just added it in later.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of hope that they patch in dual audio, honestly. Because they're only if you buy the English version of the game, you're only allowed to listen to the English audio,
Right.
and if you buy the Japanese version, then you can only listen to the. And I don't know why they did that because even other Square Enix games like Final Fantasy 15 and Nier Automata, and I think even Dragon Quest 11, they're like, here you go, you can pick. It's not like
Yeah. And Super Smash Bros.
it's
Ultimate
not
available now.
yeah, it's not the biggest deal. You know what I mean? Like it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it would just be nice to have the ability to just listen to both versions of the voice acting. Um, because even I believe the other regions, not in Japan, they only get the English voice acting as well, and they just like
Yes,
change the subtitles.
that is
So it's
correct.
like, okay, so you only had to record two sets in that sense. You know what I mean? Like you only had to do English and Japanese.
Hmm.
So if you only had to do two, why not put both in the game
Yeah, and
and just let
interestingly
people pick?
enough, I believe, I forget if it was for one or two, but there's a large subset of Japanese players that like playing it with the English voices.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah. Even Japan like playing with English voices sometimes. It's like, why wouldn't you just let us pick?
Hmm. Yeah, I want to know what Donald sounds like in German.
Ooh.
I want to hear French Baymax.
I want to hear
You
French
know,
Goofy.
what is fa la 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 in French?
Oh.
Fa la 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 la.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's a San Franciscan accent.
Yeah, it's not like it's a big deal, but like I would appreciate the dual audio. It's like you paid for the voice acting anyway.
Yeah.
And you paid for that work. It's like why not just have all of it available in the game? Like I don't fine, but like
Hard read. Do you think they'll continue to make Kingdom Hearts games after this with different characters?
yes, because they already said that they wanted to make five at least. But Sora would still be the main character for most of them. But I think that Nomura will take a little bit of time off to do FF7 and then also 10 free because they're waiting for him to do 10 free.
Yeah.
And it's like every single Final Fantasy Kingdom Hearts game. They're like, well, just wait for Nomura to be not busy. Like that man is always busy. You're gonna be waiting forever.
Do you think they'll cave in to the really loud, annoying fans and put like Marvel and Star Wars in it down the road?
I think eventually, I don't think that they needed in Kingdom Hearts. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can put them in, sure, it'd be fun.
Well,
But
they
in
are
terms
in
of,
Big
I don't
Hero
think that
6
you
as
need.
Marvel.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that you need to have either the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, or sequel
Oh my
trilogy
god, Jar
to
Jar and
tell
Donald on
them.
the same team. Think
Oh
about the
no.
possibilities.
Because that's the problem though, because there's so much Star Wars that it's like, okay, so when you're trying to represent it, what do you do with it?
Or you can
And
have
there's
a
so much
team of
Marvel that it's
Donald
like,
Duck and Howard the Duck.
oh
Hello.
no, oh no. It's like if you do it, then you either have to do like summons or
Right.
whichever word that we're going with for the summons in whichever game it happens to be,
I
D-Link summons,
don't
whatever.
I don't
Or
know
you have to do like an
if
actual world and you have to like push them all together in the same world slash universe. Or because half of them are all in space, so you have to then deal with that issue.
yeah.
You make like another world where you stick all the characters and they just happen to be from that world and they're hanging out. But that's literally just the same thing as Radiant Garden with the Final Fantasy character.
Yeah. I
You know what I
don't
mean? It's
know
like
if
how do you handle that?
it's definitely a juggling act that I don't think they want to do, but
No, if they're gonna do it, I would want them to do it right. But it's like, but how do you do
they'll just
it?
sneak it in on like a 3DS game or some shit. It's like,
Oh
okay,
no!
here we go. This is what you guys wanted, right?
Kingdom Hearts Star Wars Edition only on the Vita. Good luck getting a Vita, guys.
Yeah, especially if you want an
R.I.P. the
OLED
Vita.
one. I don't know what summons that we're gonna have for Kingdom Hearts 3. They haven't shown a lot in that respect.
No, we've got what is the Dream Eater called? Meow Wow? Was that his
Uh,
name?
um, uh, be
Yeah. And we've
Nian
got
Nianbao, Meow,
nah, it's Meow. It's
the
yeah.
cat dog thing.
Yeah,
Meow
he's a
Wow.
cutie. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've got him, and you've got Wreck-It Ralph, and you've got
that's right.
Ariel.
Yep, yeah.
Um, any others that you can think that we've been? Oh, Simba, of course. Sorry, I forget Simba.
Yeah, I don't know
He's going off,
I don't
going
know
off in the frozen world for the
if
best, you know.
Stitch will be in it or not. I talked to Chris Sanders and he told me that he recorded something for Disney and he even showed me his calendar. He's like, "Look, I recorded something, but I honestly can't remember what it was for, but it was
Oh,
Stitch." So
oh.
I don't know if Stitch is in Kingdom Hearts 3 or not, and I don't think Chris Sanders remembers either. But he recorded
I
at a
feel
time that they were doing VO for Kingdom Hearts 3 and it was
mm,
Stitch, so who knows?
I feel like I feel like Dumbo has to be in it simply because they've got the Tim Burton version coming out next year. Um, as well as the Aladdin, Lady and the Tramp, and what's the other one? Oh my gosh, there's Lion King. Lion
Yeah.
King. So like I feel like they kind of would have put in the ones that were probably had movies coming out.
Would make sense. I would love to summon Emma Watson and have her fight by my side. That'd be dope.
Listen, you know it's gonna be Beast if they're gonna do anything. Don't even put yourself up to that hope because you know it'll only be Beast.
I mean, hell, at least Beast is a fucking amazing summon. Beast is always good.
um, yeah, it'll be interesting, especially if they try to put in some more of the characters from like DDD, from example.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get a
Oh my god, what if
Hunchback
you
of
could summon
Job.
Joshua?
Hello, I am God. I am here to not solve your problems. Goodbye.
Oh
He
no,
just floats
Xehanort! Yo,
in.
freaking
He
blonde
literally
god,
just
get him!
floats in. Angel wings exposed. He just floats down into the scene and he says, "Hi, Sora." And then he looks at the problem and he just goes, "Nah." And he just floats back. He just rises back up and he's gone. That's all it is. It's his entire summon.
Or we get like a drive form that's just a fucking struggle stick. It's like, look, guys, we're
No,
making
that'd be
references
great.
to everything.
Do you think that eventually they'll have Leon go back to being school? I literally almost said school in the first place. Like, send help. Do you think that they'll have Leon go back to being in school? So he'll just eventually be like, Leon. He'll be like, it's school now. You're like, oh, oh.
That's a good question. I think they would
That's
go with
okay.
I think they would go with Squall.
I want them to patch it in and change his name, and every single time it said back to being school when they port Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I think people want that with Titus, right?
Titus!
Exactly. Exactly.
His name is Titus. Okay, to be fair though, to be fair to Kingdom Hearts, it did confirm Aerith versus Aerith. It's Aerith. And they did confirm that. To be fair, out of all the pronunciations, they did confirm that one.
Right.
And they only got it wrong in Kingdom Hearts 2. And it was only because Selphie was like, Titus! It was like, Titus.
Yeah, it's like in that one part in Goblet of Fire where Hermione has to tell Victor Crumb how to say her name, which was J.K. Rowling's way of telling the audience how to pronounce
Yes,
Hermione.
yes. Do you think that they're gonna have like whenever they show Brain from K-Hux, they're just gonna be like immediately have somebody say Brain instead of Blaine? Because like his name is Brain. It's one of the weirdest parts of that whole thing. Is that his
Which is
name
saying
is
something.
yeah, it is Brain. And people were like, do they mean Blaine, which is an actual name? And they were like, no, it has meaning. His
They'll just
name
avoid it altogether. They won't give him a name.
no, they have to because he talks to Lorium. They have to name him.
Well,
He's probably in on the whole. We don't even know who killed Strelitza. There's a whole debate
yep.
over if it's Lorium or Elrina who's her sister. I don't.
Fucking Loria,
Okay.
man. Ugh.
what if it wasn't even him that murdered? What if it was just Larxene? It was just Elrena who just murdered her, and we all went around calling Lorium a murderer, and he wasn't. He was just a pretty boy with his pink hair.
And then watch like just like a new dandelion pops up and be like, "Yo, I killed Travis Willingham," and then be like, "Whoa, fuck, what's going on?" And then he's got like a new Keyblade, and it's like, "This is the Master Keyblade," and it's like,
I think you mean Ethimer, who's already the leader. If he's the good boy that you
I know. Wouldn't it be crazy if they just kill him off?
You're either the good boy or you're the one that's been the serial killer, and I don't.
Yeah.
I could go either way at this
point. So, all in all, here's the lesson, everybody. You get a PS4, right? You get the all-in-one disc. You get the 2.8. You watch all the K-Huck shit on the YouTube. And then, after you're confused out of your mind, you play Kingdom Hearts 3 and go, that didn't clear up anything at all. That is the strat. Yeah. That's what we need to do. Yeah. Come late January.
January 29th, for those not in Japan. So obviously be careful on the internet if you are looking at the internet after the 25th, because that's when Japan gets it. And it'll probably be the 24th for everybody not in Japan, because we're a day ahead. So like, they say 25th, but for everybody else.
Right, well, with digital downloads, I don't know how that's going to work.
That'll mean that because I bought mine digitally,
right.
It preloads the day before and it unlocks at 11:59. So like actual midnight of that day.
Right. Gotcha.
So it'll be midnight on January 25th for me and Japan. So it'll be like the 24th still for most people.
You time zone cheater.
I know. I get it a day early anyway, because the 29th is before the 29th for everybody else.
Yeah.
We're ahead of Japan as well, just a point of reference, and we still don't get it early.
That'd be so fucked. Like, all right, guys, New Zealand's getting it first.
Excuse you, we are time zone 0. We are the start point. We should get it first.
So then we'll shift it out to, Australia and Guam and Japan.
Just go around in a circle. When you get it lost, that would be fun. You get it lost. Oh boy, have fun with that.
It's the internet's never been safe. I don't think at the point that this video is coming out, I'm sure the internet's already not safe.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be a minefield. So just watch out. If you wanted to go watch the K-Huck's videos, then I believe it is on the KH Insider channel.
Yes, it is.
I've been going and watching all of them. So they have like a massive playlist, and it's just all the story cutscenes being translated. So go check it out there if you want them there. If you want an extensive timeline series, I would go with Everclose one, because it's a lot of videos, and he's going over like everything. You could also try and find a blind Let's Player who's been playing the games as well, because you're pretty much at the same reactions, and you get the entertainment as well as learning what's happening.
Also, if you want a nice, awesome condensed version of that, there might be some guy like Razor something who has some Twitch highlights from all of his playthroughs of the Kingdom Hearts games that he live streamed. If you will check out the Kingdom Hearts playlist in my playlist section, where I start from 1 and I go all the way to 2.8. That's just an option, if you're crazy like that. If you have the time.
Razor 13 for sure. You'll see all the mistakes, but all the things that you learned along the way, the really important things, like
all the things I did on my first try. Those are all there.
Thank you, by the way. It was very entertaining myself to watch you play through all those games for the first time.
Hey, that's what got you to watch my channel, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was watching a little bit before that, but that was the hell yeah, I'm in this.
Yeah, well, you started following me because I said I was gonna start playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm pretty sure in like Billy's channel or something.
I think that was the conversation.
Yeah. See, people, Kingdom Hearts brings people together.
Yeah.
Inside, there's a
But yeah.
light that will never go out, and that's all because of
Uh,
fantastic video games.
it's all because of invincible frames on cartwheels, really.
That's very true. That's very true.
iframes.
iFrames for
Don't upgrade
days.
it.
So be sure to play the game
Don't
as soon as possible so you can take care of any exploits before it gets patched out.
Learn how to speed run
Yeah.
it.
Make sure to get the Kyra illustrations so you can just power your way through the entire game.
Pick up the best version of the game for you.
Whether that's Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo. Oh, that's right. Nintendo's doesn't
Oh.
get it.
Oh. Never forget
The Switch
the
ain't strong
days.
enough to play Kingdom Hearts 3, let's be real.
Yeah, but never forget that days only exist because Nintendo wanted a Kingdom Hearts game on their platform.
Don't remind me of days.
Never
We
forget.
almost got through half the podcast without me thinking about
Never
my
forget.
girl.
Never forget, Recoded only exists because Disney wanted a Kingdom Hearts game.
That's it, folks. I've been Norded. And there's...
Success. I succeeded. I finally succeeded.
I have been Norded. And you will never hear from me ever again. Thank you, Tamara, for joining me.
Of course. Thank
It
you
was
for
a
having
pleasure. I mean, we needed to get someone who knew what they were talking about in here for once.
me.
Hope you all enjoy the game. I'm sure it's going to be great. The little bit that I played is great. Everything that we've seen has been fantastic. And I'm sure it's going to be everything we wanted and more as long as Aqua gets saved and Kyrie gets to kiss Sora. So that's going to be a wrap up for AOE Podcast. And we'll see you guys after you beat Kingdom Hearts 3.
Bye, guys.
Bye.